Okay, so we're going to have a go at restoring this one. Somebody commented that this is a model power. I think they might be right, which is really good because that also means that several of my other locomotives that I didn't know what make they were are also model powers. So anyways, I bought this one in my last video, and it obviously didn't work, but the motor sounded quite good. So I suspect it's just a matter of lubricating and cleaning. Oh boy. See, this is the thing I love so much about this type of locomotive. They have a great big motor. These are very robust, and they're all-wheel drive too, so very good locomotives. Let's try turning. Ooh. Not sure if you can hear that, but it's making like a grinding noise. I suspect it's the gear worms. It sounds like there's something caught in them. I have disassembled one of these locomotives before, so I have a vague... Oh boy, that's going to take a bit more torque. I have a vague understanding of how you're supposed to take these apart. There we go. I don't think this one's ever been opened since it left the factory. It's funny, you can always tell if somebody's been inside or if they haven't, just how it's laid out. Okay. Oops. If we just undo this little clip, I believe... Oh, 2 clips. Not at all what I was expecting. Well, that looks to be a fairly well lubricated gear worm. Let's just see. Okay, the armature is still locked, so I think whatever's caught is likely in the other one. Because this one appears to be fine, at least by my standards. Okay, so now that we've concluded that this truck is not the problem, that leaves one of 2 ways. There could be a problem. It could be this truck, or it could be the motor. If it's the motor, we're in for a lot more trouble. The thing that's interesting is that you actually have to take off the coupling box on these types of locos to remove the front truck. Let me just get a bit of a better bit. And there we go. A couple smart designs about this. First of all, this holds in this light. Second of all, they put these really long screws so that they bind very deep into the metal. Good recipe for a long-lasting locomotive. And the problem is these screws are so old, they've got jammed. Always resort to brute force as a last measure. Oh, okay, good. I figured out what the problem is. That just wasn't popping out for some reason. Okay, we are in. So it's usually around the gear worm, which is what causes problems. Oh no, this one's good too. Okay, so I guess that means the motor is in fact the problem, which is not good actually, because it means we have to go through another treasure trove of taking apart more stuff. But now the scary part. Okay, this motor is not turning. We definitely need to open it up. I have no idea how. It's pretty smart, actually. You can just pull those off. Okay folks, it's been quite a bit of time later. I did in fact figure out how to open up the motor. It's not very intuitive. You see these bitty little holes, there's actually a pin on each side of them. So what you have to do is you need to put a little screwdriver right behind that pin, and then with a lot of force you need to push. And it will just pop right out. There we go. See? And it just comes out just a little bit. And there you go, just like that. And then we need to get the other one. Here's the motor completely taken apart, and as you can see, it has no problem spinning, which means that there is nothing wrong with the bearings, which leads me to believe that there's something wrong with the casing. So we're going to have a look, because the magnets in these things are made of steel usually, and steel can rust. So if they're exposed to moisture, it can rust and it can cause chafing between the armature and the magnets. First of all, I've just noticed part of the magnet is actually missing there, so there's a chance that before I open this was actually caught in the armature and that was preventing it from spinning. But as you can see, just as I suspected, the magnet is very rusted. So I'm going to take some steel wool and clean that up real good. Well, here it is after the sanding, and it's, as you can see, it made a very large difference. It just looks much smoother and a lot better. That dent got sanded down a little, so hopefully the armature will stop chafing against the sides and this thing will work properly. A couple of other observations. First of all, I believe it was on this side. You see how the plastic's all kind of screwy there? Somebody put some flux or something on there and it evidently ate away the plastic. The other problem I discovered is, I don't think this is a problem, I have no idea what this is. There's just this random piece of something. I have no idea why they would have put that there. And the reason I do say problem is because if this is turning at a high RPM, that's going to act as a weight, and it might cause the motor to vibrate quite a bit, so I really have no clue what this is doing here. It's epoxied on very well, whatever it is. Well, folks, I believe I got the motor working. I haven't tested it, but I can now turn the shaft of the motor, and it seems to work okay, so we'll put this back in the locomotive, and hopefully this thing will work now. That's pretty good. Okay, where's that clip? Here it is. And now that goes there. Oh. I always forget to do this part. upside down. Okay, there we go. Okay, I've got it on the track. Got it set to DCC. There's power going to the track. I'm gonna prove it to you. See if I short the track out. But nothing. The electrical connectivity was working perfectly before, and now it's not. Not even the light. It's not just the motor, so I have no clue what to do now. Well, folks, after 15 minutes of problem hunting, I finally found the problem. It's pretty silly. Okay, you see right there, insulated wheel, and that's okay, except I insulated the wheels on both sides. So basically this locomotive can only get one type of current. So what I need to do is take apart one of the trucks, flip the wheels, which will flip the current, and then hopefully we'll get something working. I don't know. I don't even know if the motor works. Insulated wheels, not insulated wheels. Boom. Folks, we're gonna get three things. One of three things. We're gonna either get a short circuit, nothing, or a humming motor. Which will it be? Oh, looks like we went for the short circuit option. I hope it works this time, because honestly, I'm running out of ideas. Okay, so second discovery of the day. This metal case conducts electricity. So if you put the non-insulated sides of the wheels on that side, what will happen is the electricity will conduct up through from the wrong rail, and it will do the same thing from the other side, causing a short circuit. So I'm hoping, now that I flipped them, and it has its proper contacts, this is going to not short circuit, and it will work this time. To be clear, in case somebody else wants to wire this up, you have to put the insulated wheels all on the same side, but you have to make sure it's the same side that the contacts are on, otherwise this is not going to work, which is why it wasn't getting contact before. So now, hopefully that I've got it all wired up properly, this thing will work. I'm going to do it this time, but basically this plate is, the wiper is touching this case, so it's not the wheels this time, now it's the wiper, so I have to fix that as well. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's very slow for 15 volts, but it costs $10. And honestly, I think if we lubricate it more, this is going to be a fantastic runner. I say that as it stops. Uh-oh, I hope we don't have a short circuit. Yep, short circuit. Honestly, I have no clue why it short-circuited, but it's back to life again, so that's good.